Hello and welcome to the Franchise Time Machine. Tonight we're going to be taking a look at what it might look like to turn my Lou Diamond Phillips alt account into a full-blown theme team. So as part of that, I'll explain what theme teams are and how you can create your own. It's a really fun way to play Perfect Team. So you know what? I realized I should make let me see if I can do this real quickly. Thinking about making a slide that explains what the rules are for my theme team. This would be the rules for the Lou Diamond Phillips theme team. So I'm going to do that right now. Gonna do it live. Lou Diamond. Here, maybe I'll just show you. Here's my Google Slides page. Share this. Okay, this is close enough. It's a little cut off, but so, so So for any theme team, you want to come up with a set of rules for your team. What makes people eligible, or what makes cards eligible in the game? Hold on, I'm going to take a quick drink of water. My throat's a little scratchy tonight. Apologize. Okay, hopefully that sounds a little better. So for this team, it was first anyone named Lou, Diamond, or Phillips. I actually initially didn't have Diamond included, but then we had the Diamond Pipkins card. So I realized, well, we should include Diamond. Um, any low diamond card that's 90 to 94 overall value, overall rating. And then one card per per Lou Diamond Phillips role/character name. So I don't know, I can probably think of a better way to put that, but basically I'm going to go into IMDb, look up all his movies, and for each movie he will have played a character. And that character name, first name or last name, can make a card eligible, but I can only use each role once. So that's going to be that'll be my rules. So I'm going to go ahead and make a slide out of that. Okay. I'm still a little new to OBS. There's probably easier and better ways to do this, but this is what I know right now. So I'm gonna turn that into a slide, and then I can share the slide. Let me make a okay. I should have done this for him. I didn't even think about it until I started talking that it'd be good to lay out what the rules are. Okay, here we go. So you just saw me make it, and now it's in a full-blown slide I can put into OBS. So first, um, and so here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna pull up. Hmm, I thought I created a window for. Okay. Hmm. Okay. So, um, those are my rules. I might tweak them as we go. Um, I don't. I don't quite know what the official theme team rules are in terms of making changes to your theme team rules. I would imagine you're not supposed to do it during the course of a season. Um, I mean, ultimately, like you're responsible for your team. I think you can probably set any rules you want, but they should be pretty transparent and easy to understand, so people can see if you're following your own rules. But I don't know that there's. I should. I want to. I'm now curious. I want to ask EVC when he gets back from vacation if uh if there's ever been any kind of enforcement on someone not following the rules. So GT Sundown, first time chatting in our stream, appreciate it. So you can adjust during the season? Okay, that's good to know. Um, do you happen to know if anyone's ever been told like their rules or their theme was like too broad or too whatever and been asked to change it? Just share your changes with the EBC. Okay, yeah, that seems reasonable. I mean, ultimately, it's everyone's just trying to have fun, so I can't imagine it would be too controversial. Um, I think Ezra Denny is going to be rating in a little bit, so I was going to hold off on doing my quick spiel on what theme teams are and how to sign up until then. Um, but what I'm going to be doing tonight is I set up this spreadsheet. Well, actually, so for the rules, the first two are easy. Anyone in the card shop with the name Lou or Diamond or Phillips, um, and then any card that's a low diamond. It's a lot of cards, but a lot of the low diamond cards are far from meta. So I'm hoping this isn't too broad. But the main thing is I like themes that I can add to over time, and so that's where I think this last rule about the Lou Diamond Phillips rolls will come into play. So GT Sundown says initial suggestion. I think EBC has suggested the theme is too broad, but ultimately it's on the creator. Yeah, it's mostly a fun way to play. Yeah, okay, it's good to know. I mean, it's kind of like packs only, right? I can't imagine anyone signing up to play packs only and then buying cards. Like why do either thing? Like, don't sign up if you're gonna buy cards, and then once you sign up, don't buy cards. So it's the same thing with theme teams. Like, I don't know why anyone would sign up if they're not gonna follow their own theme rules. It just seems ridiculous. But I was just wondering if that's ever happened. Um, so I guess the first thing I wanted to check was just how many really good low diamond cards there are, because if there are too many, um, I was gonna just bail from the Steam team. So I'm gonna go ahead and so I'm just gonna go into the card shop. Let me see just how many good low diamond cards there are. So we're looking 90 to 94. Let's see all the cards and descending L10 price. Okay. So first of all, how many are there? Okay, there aren't that many. Oh wait, no, that's because I was searching for center fielders earlier. Oh, I was like, that's not a lot. So GT Sundown says, a pack only streamer that didn't realize they couldn't buy cards from missions, even if they weren't going to use those purchase cards on the squad. Since they completed missions with the perfects, they dropped the PCK. Oh, that's a bummer. I mean, that's a bummer on both fronts. It's a bummer that they didn't realize it, but at least had another account so they could start over. And I think even I think didn't even Laugh say that he thought he was on the wrong account and he bought a card once and he just made sure like he sold it and didn't and fortunately hadn't used it. So I mean it can happen to anybody. But what I can't imagine is someone like intentionally doing that. All right, so let's see what we've got here. That's a good number of cards. Well, let's take out the lives for now. Okay, there's 157 non-live loadouts, and I'm looking right here at the top of the column where it says 157 total. So that's a good number of cards. And then, well, I'm not. Okay, there's this DeGrom card. Let's see at what point they start to kind of fall off and maybe wouldn't be playable. All these future legends might potentially be playable. You can see how few cards I actually have. This this account I have 383 unopened packs because I've just been too busy to open packs. And then every time I feel like, oh, I have time, maybe I'll open some packs. It's like a Tuesday, and I'm like, oh, I should just wait till Thursday when the new cards come out. And then the new cards come out, and I'm too busy again. And then it'll be like Monday again. And I'm like, oh, well, we're pretty close to Thursday again. So I got a bunch of cards to open. I think that'll help my situation here too. But I think even just doing low diamonds could be a decent team. And then let's see. Let's see how many Lou's there are in the game right now. Lou. 13 Lou's. There's that new Lou Brissy card. There's the High Diamond Lou Bedreau. I really like, so I started playing Perfect Team towards the end of PT24. And I thought that Perfect Lou Bedreau that came out towards the end of the cycle was really good. I thought it hit way better than I was expecting and had the really good fielding. So I ended up picking that a lot in Perfecto drafts, especially. Fetty. The other thing I was worried about is position coverage, but already we have a catcher here among the Lou's. So catcher, second base, and I think left field can sometimes be an issue. And then let's see if we expand that to. Actually, I wonder if is his full name. I wonder. So here's his IMDb page. I wonder if it says whether his full name is if it's just Lou or if it's Lewis. No, I don't want his bio yet. Okay, here it says Lewis Diamond Phillips. So, okay, so I'm going to expand the search to include Lewis. So there's there's 13 Lou's. Louis. Oh, so the problem here is it's going to pull in St. Louis. Yeah. So this 212 is going to be deceptive. Let me just go to the high end and see what. So not Musial, not Shane. So I don't know if there's a way to just isolate the names other than just looking. So I don't see any Lewis's here. So maybe Lou is enough. No Lewis is there. No Lewis is there. Hey, GT Sunday, can you remind me, are you running a theme team this season? Okay, well, we're into the silvers, and I don't think silvers and bronzes are really going to play in main team, so I don't think Lewis is going to matter. I'm pretty sure we just have one diamond in the game, but not currently running one. Did you run one in PT24? You have an alt called Upcoming GTC. You did, okay. What was your theme team in 24? Oh, Diamond is pulling up all the Diamondbacks. You did one after the book slash TV series The Expanse. Okay, so is it like characters that appear in the series? I think theme teams are a really cool way to get to, kind of merge interests. So let's see, had to have names of main characters in the book slash show, first or last names. Okay, yeah, that sounds cool. And if it's a series, I imagine that's a pretty long list of characters, so you had some flexibility. Um, but yeah, like if you're really into that series, you get to combine your interest in that with your interest in baseball. Um, I think that's awesome. So for this, it's not like I'm a huge Lou Diamond Phillips fan, but I really like movies, and so it's a good way to kind of um, merge my interest in movies with interest in baseball. And the same with I know GT Sundown. We've talked before about both of us went to Georgia Tech, so like that my Georgia Tech theme team. Well, it's actually a Georgia theme team. Georgia Tech on my mind for those who aren't familiar. It's anyone who was born, died, or is buried in Georgia, played for a school or professional team in Georgia, um, and since it's based on the Ray Charles song, anyone with the names Ray or Charles. And then at Georgia Tech, there's this made up person called George P. Burdell that people sign up for things. He's like flown World War II combat missions. I think he's been to outer space. He has like every degree possible from Georgia Tech. So anyone named George or Burdell, which I don't think there's ever been a Burdell. I should look that up in Baseball Reference. Yeah, Gigi Sunday. I do exclude Bulldogs, and this one's actually come back to bite me because I created a rule that if they went to Georgia Tech, they have to be on the roster. And right now, there aren't a lot of very good Georgia Tech cards. So there's a lot. I have like some irons on my roster that I have to leave on. So that rule's kind of biting me. But I like seeing them on my roster because they went to Tech. So let me pull up Baseball Reference here real quick. And yeah, that new Nomar Garcia power card. I'm super excited about that. I'm hoping too there'll be a good Veritech coming. And there's already a Jay Payton in the game. Um, it's a gold. It's decent, but I think in league play would be quickly obsoleted. So let me look up. What was I going to look up? Something about Lou Diamond Phillips. Now I can't remember what I was going to look up. Um, oh yeah, if there's a Burdell in the game, George P. Burdell. Oh, there is. There's a Burdell Young. Well, not in the game, but in baseball. So if Burdell Young ever gets a card, he will be eligible. Let's see what his peak season looks like. He had a 1046 season, playing for the New York Lincoln Giants. What league was this in? The Eastern Colored League team. So it looks like he's a Negro League player. I mean, I would think Paul could make a decent. It's a small sample size, but um, I know a lot of Negro League player seasons have fewer games. I mean, 19 is really low, but I think that could be a fun card. 1046 OPS. So let's get a let's get a Burdell Young card in the game. And then there's going to be middle initial P since it's George P. Burdell, but I don't know if that's ever going to come up. Um, so that one I have a lot of fun every time I pull a diamond or perfect card. I end up looking the player up to see, were they born in Georgia? Did they play for a Georgia team? Especially like, um, let's see here. I'll just pull who's someone who's like a diamond card. Oh, like Steve Finley. All right, Steve Finley has this 94 diamond card that's going for L10 of 55,000. So let's suppose I pull that card. Unless they played for the Braves, I usually don't know, or if they played for Georgia Tech. Otherwise, I usually don't know um, if they qualify. So I end up looking up a lot of players, which is fun. At least to me, it's fun. So the first thing I do is I look up here and see, okay, did they go to high school or college in Georgia? And Steve Finley did not. Looks like he grew up in Kentucky, went to college in Illinois. And then, oh, another thing is sometimes players get drafted by the Braves, but don't play for the Braves. I still count that. Oh, Burdell Young was also born in Georgia. Oh, thanks, GT Sundown. So he's double eligible. Oh yeah, right. So Stephen Lee was drafted by the Braves right here. So he would be eligible. But also I wanted to show I usually use this minor league stats because then it shows the names and locations of the minor league teams they play for. If you just look at this um, through the major league view without doing this, usually it'll just have like a summary of the level, but maybe not list all the teams. Right? So you'll see, okay, Charlotte is close, but not quite. And then Mobile, yeah, so nothing in Georgia, but as GT Sundown's Eagle Eye spotted, he was drafted by the Braves. So he would be eligible. Sorry, I just meant to highlight this again. Right there. So again, just goes to show how much information there is in IMDb. Okay, so Lou Diamond unfortunately is pulling up all the Diamondbacks, so that's not really helpful. And then Phillips. Tried it with one L, and then I'm gonna try it with two L's. Yeah, so there's this Tony Phillips card that's very useful as a utility player. I use it in silver all the time. I use them a lot in PT24 too. Although I think in 24 he might have been a gold card, but third base, left field, center field. He plays a really good outfield, 112 in left, 90 in center, because you get the full rating in tournament play. Um, in league play though, I'd only get the 36, so he'd really only be left field or third base for me. All right, GT Sunday, I got to go to bed. Have a good night. Yeah, thank you for popping in, and I'll let you know if this ends up becoming a full-fledged team. I'm just gonna go through tonight and try to match up all the roles to a card in the game or a card I'd hope to get in the game. And then this Adolfo Phillips card, I've actually started playing in silver tournaments because he's a good center fielder, good center field defense, 88 range, and he's got some pop. So the BABIP is real good, almost 100, and especially versus righties, he's got that 80 power, 88 walk. So if you go contact power eye, he's okay. But right now in this stage of the cycle, where there are still a lot of low stuff pitchers, I've been going more by BABIP power and eye, and so versus righties, he's got that good triangle of 99, 80, 88. And then even versus lefties, he's still decent at 94, 66, 95. But that reverse split's also helpful too, I think. So I've started putting him in some of my silver tournament lineups. And then there's a Brandon Phillips card. I like the 97 second base. Unfortunately, these are all silver, so they might get this team through rookie, maybe into stone. But I think beyond that, we're gonna have to need some better cards. Hey, Ezra Denny rating in. Appreciate it, Ezra. Hope the rest of your stream went well. Hey, who trying to ball? Thanks for the raid. So Ezra, I think I heard you mention you were going to play two games tonight because you wanted to finish the season. Is that so you can start doing your save in OTP 25? And I'll put the title slide back up. Here's what I'm working on today. Got out the TJ tracker. Yeah, okay, good. Well, congrats on getting out of PT 24 or OTP 24. So what I'm doing tonight is I've had this alt account that I named Lou Diamond Phillips because every time anyone would say Low Diamond, my brain would just fill in Phillips, and so I decided to just make a name out of it. Ezra, who tried to ball says Ezra is awesome except the whole Giants thing. And then recently I started thinking, okay, what would it look like if I turn this into an actual theme team? Um, and so I made a I made a set of rules for my theme team. Um, and I was gonna check tonight to see what the card set might look like. So, Low Diamond Phillips is named after the actor Lou Diamond Phillips, and he's the guy you see right here in a few of his roles. Anyway, anyone named Lou, Diamond, or Phillips, and I didn't think Diamond would be a thing until we got the Diamond Pipkins card, so I wasn't even going to include it, but now I'm including it. So I was just checking in the card shop to see what players are eligible with those names. And then I think the big ones would be anyone with a low diamond card. But then I thought the fun part would be I want to make one card eligible per role that Lou Diamond Phillips has played. So first name or last name, but I can only use each role once. But I can change it over time too if I want to swap it out. So for that, I have IMDb ready to go, and Oh, also, I was checking. It looks like his full first name is Lewis. So anyone named Lou or Lewis, I'm gonna pull in. So then I was looking at the Low Diamond cards after the names. And until today, I didn't notice, maybe you guys already knew this. In the top of the column above the card names, it actually shows you the total. So I didn't realize there are 157 low diamond cards in the game right now. In some ways, that's more than I was expecting. In other ways, it's a little less. I should have forced myself to guess a number. But yeah, so 157. I don't think they'll all play, especially depending on the level. I think they're all probably going to be useful in rookie and maybe in stone, but beyond that, I think only a portion of these will play. So then I thought the actor roles will be important, and then also I think with a theme team, it's it's more interesting and fun if you can over time add to the team or at least think about like as new cards come out, like is that card eligible? So that's where I think the one card per roll will be the fun part. It's like any new diamond, of course, like I'll be excited to see a new card that can be added to the team. But then I think also like going back to check the list to see like, oh, are any of these new cards eligible? And going back through the list, I think will be fun. So I set up oh, and I was going to go through this real quickly in case anyone was new to the game, either in the chat or watching the VOD. I thought I'd do a quick review of like theme team stuff. So I'm not the expert. I'll probably get this wrong because I'm not only new to theme teams, but I'm also new to perfect teams. I just started in December. So if anyone in chat wants to correct me, please feel free. But so for theme teams, one thing I wasn't sure was, and maybe someone in the chat knows, did EVC start the theme team crew, or is he just now the current person running it? So Nolan says, I have your stream going through my projector. It's wild seeing it cast onto my wall. That's awesome. Um, so anyway, EVC is the one. EVC in NYC2 is the one who's so Ezra says he believes he was the start of the theme. He's awesome. Okay, well that's great because he's doing a fantastic job running it. It's good to know that he started it too because it's an amazing thing then that he's created because there's this whole community around it. So that's him. He has. That's how I communicate with him and the other theme team owners. And that's how I got signed up too. So the theme team is like any idea you have that you can use to create a set of cards that's consistent with the rules you set for your theme. And all you need to do is I made a slide. Where's that slide? How to create a theme team. So first, I recommend you start by watching and following EVC and NYC2. Not EVC and NYC because apparently he lost the password to that, and not EVC and NYC1 because that's not him. But watch and follow EVC and NYC2. There's lots of theme team content all the time, but in particular, like on Mondays, he'll do a recap of all the theme team crew playoffs and also roll call the new teams. And so that's a really good time to watch and learn like how the theme like what the theme teams look like, what some of the themes are that might inspire an idea or help you kind of adjust your own idea. So I think watching that is a good start and then come up with your theme. It can be anything like there's so many that I admire the creativity. Like just having one of Bob's, I thought was fun. And then I looked at the roster, and it was amazing just to see all those cards. There's one of the new ones that I like is one card made eligible by every president name. Um, I've got I've got two. One is each card is made eligible by a streamer mispronouncing a player name, and then the other one is um, Georgia Tech on My Mind, which is a combination of Georgia Tech and the song Georgia on My Mind by Ray Charles. So anyone born, died, or buried in Georgia, anyone who played for a school or team in Georgia, anyone with the name Ray or Charles, and no one who went to University of Georgia is allowed on the team, and anyone who went to Georgia Tech has to be on the roster. So yeah, Ezra Denny has the red shirts, which are any player who has the name of the original Star Trek bridge crew. Awesome. So then come up with your theme and the rules for your theme, which you can adjust, but I think um, so maybe there might be a little bit of iteration here while you get your team compliant. So that means get a roster of 26 cards that all fit within your theme. And then I probably have this order wrong. I don't think you want to rename your team TTC until you've actually gone through the steps here. But there's a form to fill out, and then I can show you what that looks like. There's this form you fill out that says, I am ready to play. So you put in your ID, and then you fill out this information, including your theme description. And then you'll kind of be official, and then you need to activate and update your PT friends list. So first I'll show you what the friends list looks like, and then I'll show you how to activate it. So every week EVC updates this, and he even updated it from Europe this weekend, which I thought was awesome. I thought for sure he would delegate that, but I thought it was great that he did it from overseas. So you find whatever level your theme team is in, he'll this is organized by level, so you can find all the other uh, team owners that are in your level, and then so you take that list, and then go into the base game here, or sorry, go into the perfect team here. Show you. So you go into your perfect team universe, and then managers and rankings, and then you search for all the managers who are in your level of theme team and just add them as friends. And what that does is it lets the game know each weekend when it resets the leagues after the playoffs are done. I think it happens around midnight my time and Pacific time, so overnight. It or reorganizes all the teams into their various leagues. So as long as you have your friends list updated by then. Oh, the other thing you have to do is you have to activate your friends list. So apparently that's something um, under perfect team settings, I think. Here, league placement setting. So I'm not this team isn't in a theme team, so it's under random. But if you're going to join the theme teams, then you make sure it says use friends list. So otherwise, you can add to your friends list and it won't do anything because it's still doing random. So if you set this to use friends list and then you populate your friends list, you'll hopefully end up in a league that's all TTC or theme team crew teams. And it works pretty well. I know like one season, what are there, 30 teams? Of the 30 teams, I think like 28 were theme teams. So it's great because you're playing against other teams who are going to be in the chat on EVC's theme team streams and stuff, and you get to know everybody a little bit. So where is that? Yeah, so then you add TTC to your team name, and then you wait for that Monday when the new leagues are set up, and hopefully you'll be in a theme team league with a bunch of other TTC teams. So once I looked at once I checked out the card shop and the low diamonds. So no, I think I'd be curious to see what people in chat think too, but I think with any theme team, I tried to make theme teams where it was fun setting it up in the beginning and making the team eligible. But then it's also gonna be fun over time as new cards come out. I'll be excited to see like, oh, are any of these new cards eligible for my theme team? Um, or in the reverse, which doesn't always happen, but like if Lou Diamond Phillips is in a new movie, whatever that character name is, I can then go find a card um, that fits that role. So I think anything that keeps your interest in the theme current and active, I think is good. So I was just doing a quick scan here to see, like, there are a bunch of hot low diamond cards here that I'd be excited to play. Um, you can see I don't have very many cards here. I have almost 400 unopened packs, so I have I have the potential to have lots of these cards, but I don't know yet. But like for example, as a Mets fan, like this OTP 25 Degrom card, I'd be super psyched to play. Um, the new Prince Fielder card, I think would be cool. This Cristobal Toriente, when Paul did um, his the TWIP where that was featured, I thought that card was great, and I thought it was great even before I found out it was a two-way card. And then it was a two-way card. I was definitely excited about it. I think all the future legend cards would be fun to play. So like I'm already excited about this, about potentially making this into a theme team. The only reason I might not is if in the course of this I'm like, okay, this is too broad of a rule, or if it's too narrow. Because I mostly if like I don't want to create a team just to get beat up, and also especially if I'm gonna be like passing up on using like potentially fun cards because they don't fit the team. I like for it to at least be a fun team to play. So that's what I was checking out here. So what's currently available in low diamond that might be fun to play? And there are a bunch. Like all these future legend cards, I'd be excited to play. That's why I'm kind of curious. Um, like how many names are you currently using of the crew members to form your roster, and then how often do like new cards become eligible, or how often are there new cards in a new set that are eligible? It's like with my Georgia Tech team, the last few releases weren't that great for it, but then there's a perfect Nomar Garcia Parra card in the one of the more recent sets, and so I'm super excited about trying to get that card. And then there's several Negro League cards in here in the low diamond level that will be fun. Uh, this Joey Bart will be dual eligible because he went to Georgia Tech, and then he's a low diamond here, so he can be on this team too. Yeah, there's a bunch of fun ones here. And then the other thing is, because there will always be new low diamond cards coming out, I don't have to worry about power creep making my theme obsolete because I can just ride the power creep of the low diamond level. And that's something my other teams don't have. So that's another reason I'm interested in potentially making this into a theme team. Um, but for me, the fun part is going to be looking up these movie roles and trying to assign names to them. So what I did is, okay, I created this spreadsheet where the year of the movie, the role, and then if there's a card that's currently that would be fun to make eligible, and then if not, who's a player that role would make eligible, then I can like keep an eye out because for me, like that's another fun part of the game is I have this list in mind of cards I'm waiting for a theme team, and then as they come out eligible, I think that's like an exciting card release. So I was going to start with, and oh, and the reason I want to do this tonight was I'm trying to take a little bit of a content break from the last three streams. I was putting together the Father's Day roster. So on Father's Day, I want to have a father and sons team where they're both in their prime playing on the same team. And so just kind of identifying which players or which father son pairs. And then the hard part, but also fun part, was fitting them into a roster. So there are plenty of father son pairs that played in the majors, but to end up with 12 pitchers and 14 batters and having enough position coverage to have a team that would survive a full season simulation was tricky but fun. So it's the reason So it's the reason like Vern and Vance Law were in the running for a really long time, even though they're probably not like yeah, we kind of all the fielders did not make my roster. That is correct. um, but you know what? It was the position flexibility because like carrying two first basemen from the same family would have been pretty tough. And but they're clearly better players than Vern or Vance Law. Like I don't think anyone would take Vern or Vance Law over a fielder if they're building a any kind of like historic team. But we needed pitchers, and Vern was a pitcher, and we needed middle infielders, and Vance was a utility infielder, so they were in the running until the very end. Anyway, it's been three streams of that, and then the actual Father's Day game will be on Sunday, and so I want to do something in between um, that would be kind of like a little bit of a break from that. So I want to do this theme team search. And the whole thing with my stream is like, I want to show stuff that I would have been doing anyway in case there are people who might be interested. And so the IMDb part might not be interesting to anyone else, but I think the theme team part, a lot of like newer players might be interested in and how to join, how to come up with a theme. Um, and I think the advice is like come up with a theme that's ongoing is important because otherwise you'll build your roster and have a lot of fun, but then once your team's running, you might get bored with it. So, all right, so let's see. All right, so let's check out his movies. So I already know, like, I know he was in Young Guns and his character's name was Chavez y Chavez. So, like, Eric Chavez, I'm super excited for an Eric Chavez card to come out. Um, but let's go roll by roll. And frankly, I don't really know what we're going to find here. Um, and I'm going to go chronological order from oldest to newest. So let's go all the way back to the beginning of here. And look, there's a lot more roles than I thought too. So this might either be way too broad or it'll be super fun because there'll be a lot of names to look up. Wow, there's a ton. Okay, his first role, time bomb, terrorist. So I don't think we're going to find that. The next one was punk number one in Interface, and then sidewalk thug in Dallas, and then Drifter and Trespasses. Okay, here we go. In Miami Vice, I'm going to include TV shows. I'm okay with that. He played Detective Bobby Diaz. So I think just because maybe the names are kind of like, I automatically think of the catcher Bo Diaz, but what year was that? 1987. Okay. So 1987. Oh, hey, Channel, I'm fine with that language. I don't think that's too bad, but I thought I hit approve, but your message didn't show up, so I apologize if I deleted it inadvertently. Miami Vice, and the role was Detective Bobby Diaz. So then let's see who's in the game. Let me take this back down to 40 to 100, and then let's start with Diaz. There'll be fewer Diaz's than Bobby's. Uh, there's an Einer Diaz, the catcher. How's that card? Decent defense. Okay, contact, but mostly from avoid K. Okay, a silver 75. Not great, not bad. And I don't think any of these irons are going to play. And let's look up Bob and Bobby. I think we should just go with Bobby because that's what the role was. Oh yeah, the Bobby Doer cards, Bobby Gritch. Yeah, either one of those would be good because we need second baseman. So, oh, sorry, I was in the card shop. I didn't show up, but anyway, Bobby Doer and Bobby Gritch are going to be they're in the game right now. And then I was also going to pull up baseball reference and look up Bobby Bonilla. Oh, Bobby Bonds, Bobby Witt, and Bobby Witt Jr. So I was wondering if there's a way to look up Bobby and then sort by war. Let me see if I can Google. There's Who Tried a Ball says you pulled the perfect Junior Caminero off a standard 20 years ago, but can't use. Oh, wait, can you not use them because it's a theme team? So I've mentioned this pet peeve before, but I've found that within baseball reference, I find it really hard to look up certain things, and I often have to go out into Google, look it up, and then go back into baseball reference in the right spot. Who talking about you only use Tigers and X Tigers? Oh yeah. Well, at least it'll bring you a lot of perfect points to buy cards for that team. It is a bummer though, because that seems like a fun card to play. Is that a future Legends card? Yeah. Where? How can I get the list of Bobbies? Or Negro League Detroit Stars. Got it. Yeah, those future legend cards. I most of them have so many positions. Um, and of course their cards are juiced up that I find them super fun to play. Okay, this time it's not being super helpful. I'm trying to find a way to show all the Bobbies, and then I want to try to sort them by war. What happens if I just search Bobby? Oh, okay, so gives me a list, but then can I sort the list? I don't think so. Well, that's a bummer. I'm going to ask this question though of I don't know who's someone who is a baseball reference expert. Or maybe as a Fangraphs expert, Spore will know. So how to search a first name by war. Because I would like to just see like the top war Bobbies. All right, so who's a Bobby not in the game that I'd be super excited to play? So hope for another big hit or get three historical diamond packs, or 100K would buy you, depending on kind of how much they're going for based on what cards are in them, some spotlight packs. I've never been able to afford a bunch of spotlight packs, but that seems like it'd be a fun thing to do. Until you open them and they're all bust, and then you probably feel like, oh, I just blew a bunch of perfect points. There is a Bobby Abreu in the game. I don't think there's a good Bobby Bonilla card. He might play. You're scared to try that? I know. I would be so worried about just having to bust. I did buy in PT24 they had those dead ball exclusive packs, and everyone was chasing the Mordecai Brown, and I think I bought three of them, and I did get a Mordecai Brown and another perfect dead ball player, so I was super excited, and I did not have to have that buyer's remorse feeling. So far, Bobby Bonilla is the one I'd be most excited about out of all these Bobbies. I don't know what order these are in either. Like they're not alphabetical by last name, they're not by chronological order. It just seems to be some random order. Bobby Reeves, nicknamed Gunner. Next 100 results. Wow, there are a lot of Bobbies. Okay, I think Bobby Bonilla for now. I also noticed Bobby Cox was on here as a manager, and it said Hall of Fame in small print next to his name. So, like right here, it says All Star, All Star, All Star, Hall of Fame, Hall of Fame. I don't know Bobby Wallace. He's a Hall of Famer. Let's check him out. Shortstop and third baseman. Real long career. Didn't lead the league in anything other than games. See, some of these old school players, it's not quite clear to me right away like why they got elected. But I mean, a card around this 1897 season might be nice. 335 average, 898 OPS, 21 triples. Which, when I look at dead ball era, I look at the triples instead of home runs to see like how good of a, not, I guess not power but gap hitter they were. So yeah, it seems like this guy can have a good card. But since I don't know enough about him, I guess I'm going to go with Bobby Bonilla will be the card I'm waiting for. All right. So then, what's the next roll? Say birthday as you? Which one, Bonilla or the dead ball guy, Bobby Wallace? This guy, November 4th. Yeah, and who knows? Maybe look at that. He died a day before his birthday. I don't know if that's good or bad, but born November 4th, died November 3rd. He died on your dad's birthday? Wait, so your dad's birthday is one day before your birthday? Okay, well, this is interesting to me. Lou Diamond Phillips went from all these unnamed bit parts to a role in Miami Vice, and then La Bamba, which is like the big movie I remember him like becoming famous for. So Richie Valens. So he must have been shooting La Bamba when he was on Miami Vice, like around this in the same year. Okay, so oh, you know what I forgot to do? I forgot to look up in Baseball Reference what Diaz is. MIP. So there's Edwin Diaz already in the game. Wouldn't be super excited about that. But I mean, as a kid, I remember the catcher Bo Diaz. Hey, why didn't I pull that up? Oh, there we go. I don't think he has a card. Does Aledmys have a card? I don't think he does. But would I be excited to have his card? I don't think so. Even though he was an all-star. Edwin Diaz, Elias Diaz. There's Bo. I just remember him. I don't remember if he was especially good or not. But I mean, he had an all-star year here with 313 with an 892 OPS, which for a catcher is solid. Had a few double-digit home run seasons. I think I'd still be more excited about a Bonilla card, though, especially as a Mets fan. Despite all the jokes I get every year on Bobby Bonilla Day. Here's Alexis Diaz. Yeah, depending on where his career goes. His 2000, his 2023 was pretty good. 1.188 whip. Actually, wow, his 2022 was great. He's definitely trending in the wrong direction, though. His whip's gone from .958 to 1.188 to 1.461. All right, I'm sticking with Bonilla. So now let's look up Richie Valens. No Valens. We'll look up Richie with the same spelling. Oh yeah, Todd Ritchie. It's a first name last name match, but still. I remember this dude. Wow, I didn't realize he had a 15-9 season. 132 ERA plus, 1292 whip. I don't know that I'd be like waiting for that card to come out though, but um I think because I didn't realize Lou Diamond Phillips had so many roles. I'm gonna stick with it's got to be spelled the same way. So I'm not gonna take just any Ritchie. It's gonna be an Ritchie. So I think there are a couple other Ritchies. Jay Ritchie in the '60s. Wally Ritchie. Okay, and then I'm just gonna check the game real quick. Well, if they're not in BRAF, they're not gonna be in the game, I guess. But I think the bummer is my understanding is Valens is like an Ellis Island changed version of Valenzuela. And so, in general, I don't know if that's the case for Richie Valens, but if that is the case, that's a bummer because it would be great to be able to play a Fernando card. But I'm going pretty strictly on this because there's so many roles. No cards eligible by Richie. Oh, Todd Richie, I guess. Not in the game, Todd Richie. Oh, wait, no, let me just check. Maybe there is a Richie. Ritchie. Nope, no Richie in the game. All right. All right, what's next? Oh, Three Kings. I remember that movie. I don't remember him being in it, but he played. Oh, it's not Three Kings. I was thinking of Three Kings with uh one of the Wahlberg brothers, and they're like soldiers in Iraq trying to and they find uh cash that I guess that was the U.S. government was giving out. They want to try to bring it home. That's Three Kings. This is the Three Kings, a TV movie. So I'm thinking about the wrong movie. But his name was Tag. So that doesn't seem too promising, but I will look it up. Is there anyone named Tag in the game? Nope. And is there anyone named Tag in IMDb? Tag. Oh, So Taguchi, but not just Tag. No, that's a bummer. Okay, who's next? Bomba music video. All right, here we go. Stand and Deliver. Angel Guzman. That is promising. So, 1987, The Three Kings. Tag. There's nobody. And then Stand and Deliver was 1988. Angel Guzman. All right, those are a couple of promising names. So, I'm just going to do the searches in baseball reference because if there aren't any names, I'll know right away. And then if there are, we can just figure out if they're in the game or not. So, Angel should have some good players. Oh, interesting. So, I'm not going to count this, but um, Miguel Sano, who has a great silver card, his given name is Miguel Angel Sano, but I'm not going to count that because it's not his first name. I think that I think I'd rather go that direction than the overly broad. Yeah, Ruben Sierra also has the same middle name. Man, that would make a lot of good cards available if I did that, though. It's tempting. I'm actually surprised nothing's jumping out at me here. You know, you've seen a lot of ex Tigers in here. I guess bold is for currently active. Hmm. Does Pagan have any good seasons worth the card? He just caught my eye because he used to play for the Mets. We're trying to ball. You see Tigers, I see the Mets. The 306 season could be a good one. Double digit triples, 837 OPS. Well, yeah, I didn't even realize he had gotten some MVP votes. MVP 32. Wait, are you booing Pagan because he on the naughty list? If he's on the naughty list, I'll skip right past him. Oh, I was wondering why Tim Salmon's on here. He's in here because one of his nicknames is Mr. Angel. Here's another Met. Angel Baroa. Mostly a Royal. He's on your naughty list for 2012. Uh, his Rookie of the Year season's good. I'm surprised. I thought Angel slash Angel would make someone really good eligible, but no one came to mind right away, and maybe there's a reason for that. Hey, look at this. This one's got the same first and last name as the character. Amazing. I would not have guessed that would happen. Mm. All right. Now, I at least remember there was a Juan Guzman pitcher. So there's at least one player. Juan Guzman All Star. Blue Jays, but I thought, yeah, okay. His one All Star season was with the Blue Jays. Okay, that could be a cool card. If I don't find another, I'm having Juan Guzman as my lookout for this card. And if it's late cycle, I'm sure like Paul will juice it up in some way to make it compelling. So that could be a fun card. Christian Guzman. Oh, this could be a fun card. Look at all these triples. 20 triples in 2000, 14 in 2001, another 14 in 2003, double digit steals. Man, could not get on base though. Career 300 on base percentage. I guess that's not terrible. I think Juan's my guy though. Oh yeah, Freddie Guzman. Okay. All right. I like going with I like going with Juan Guzman. That's a fun pitcher to wait for or look forward to. All right, so Juan Guzman. All right. All right, what's next? Ah, Young Guns. That's the Chavez I was talking about. Chavez y Chavez. So I automatically go right to Eric Chavez, but the reason I'm searching is I know just a sliver of the baseball universe. So I think there's also an Endy Chavez, right? Yep, there's Endy. Check out Jesse Chavez still playing. Wow, he is still active. That's crazy. Oh, he's 40. I guess it's not that crazy. I just did not expect him to see him as an active player. Yeah, 40 in almost 300 days. Wow. I did not realize that. He's definitely a. Yeah, Eric was a badass who tried to ball. I agree. He immediately came to my mind when I thought about Chavez y Chavez. Let's bask in his stats. Felt like I remembered him getting a late-ish cycle card in PT24, but I don't remember if it played. Yeah, check out this run of 4 years with MVP votes, 6 years with Gold Gloves. Yeah, he's a guy it'd be fun to wait for a good card from, for sure. And then I just want to check out Endy. Again, former Met. Yeah, it's not even close, but I just wanted to check it out. And is there anyone I don't know about? Raul. It's like a journeyman catcher. Yeah, Eric it is. So that was 1988 Young Guns. I mean, it's no cinematic masterpiece, but I remember really liking that movie when I was a kid. Young Guns. Chavez y Chavez. Eric Chavez. Oakland always has players just shitty ownership. Yeah, I think that can be said for a lot of teams too, unfortunately. I mean, check out this run of movies this dude was in. La Bamba, Stand and Deliver, and Young Guns all within 2 calendar years. Okay, Dakota, John Dakota. Now, I don't know about the name Dakota, but I think the name John's going to unlock a ton of players. Let's just check Dakota. Oh, Dakota Hudson. I didn't even think about that. Maybe the rule should be if he has like super common name in a role, like John Dakota, then you have to go with the less common name of Dakota. But a Dakota Hudson card could be fun. I mean, he's got his live card, but I think you could make the case for like, could you make a fun card based on this 2019 season? I mean, his whip isn't great, but he's got a 125 ERA plus. He had 7 strikeouts per nine. This can't be right. That he led the league in walks with 86? Is that true? That 86 led the league? Huh. I am curious to see though what happens if you just enter John. Oh, include Johnson too? Because Randy Johnson's showing up here. John like oh John Smoltz. A good John Smoltz would be good. There isn't a good John Smoltz card in the game now, is there? I don't think there is. Tommy John's already in the game. But that would be a good in the game card to activate. John Jaso, who had a really good platoon card in PT24, John Kruk. John Franco, who I don't understand how he saved any games once I started looking at his stats. John McGraw, Hall of Fame manager, right? Uh, so John's going to come up again, but for John Tudor. I don't know if he was actually good, but he was a Mets killer. He just destroyed the Mets on a regular basis in the 80s. Yeah, 117 and 72, 3.12. That's pretty good. He wasn't just a Met killer, I guess. He won 20 games once, bunch of double digit win seasons, barely over 500 those years, though. That 21 and 8 really helped his career win percentage. 10 shutouts in 85. Wow. Wow. 10 shutouts, 0.938 ERA. Okay. For the next John, I'm definitely going John Tudor. But let's see. 1988's Dakota. He played John Dakota. And in the game, we'll do Tommy John. And then not in the game, we'll go we'll go John Smoltz first, and then we'll go John Tudor. I'm sure there'll be another John roll. All right. Disorganized crime. Ray Forgy. Forgy? Forgy. That's 1989. Disorganized crime. Ray Forgy. I doubt there'll be any Forgies, but I'll take a look. Pretty sure we'll be looking at Rays. No Forgies in the game. All right, give me the Rays. Oh, Ty Cobb, Tyrus Raymond. Forgot about that. A lot of Ray middle names showing up here, which I've just said I would not play. Oh, Robbie Ray. He's got a historic card that's not very good. Maybe we'll get a better one. Something like Johnny Ray, the second baseman. Ray Langford, who's already in the game. Ray Durham would be a fun card, and I don't think he's in the game right now. Ray Boone, Ray Schalk. We just got a Ray Fosse card, right? That'd be and I think it's a good one. Ray Knight on the 86 Mets. That'd be an interesting card to play. I wonder what it would look like. There's Johnny Ray. I remember on the Pirates, he was also kind of a Met killer. Yeah, career 290 average. That's pretty good for a second baseman of that era. Led the league in doubles twice. Nice. Yeah, this 84 season with 789 OPS, 38 doubles for a second baseman, that could be a fun card. I think as far as in the game now, it's probably that Ray Langford card is the best of all these. And then I think a Ray Durham card would be interesting to. Oh no, the Ray Fosse card probably plays because it's a catcher. So in-game Ray Fosse. I think the trend I'm seeing is I would end up waiting for a lot of cards if I start this theme team. Ray Durham would be cool. Yeah. Renegades. Hank Storm, 1989. Well, we have a Hank, so I'm thinking Hank Aaron right off the bat. I mean, it's got to be around the corner, right? A perfect Hank Aaron, maybe later in the cycle, so it could be meta for longer, but definitely worth the wait for a good Hank Aaron card, a meta Hank Aaron card. But let's see who else. Like with Steve Trout's dad, Dizzy Trout. I mean, if you had asked me what Dizzy card, I would have automatically gone to Dizzy Dean, but like that Dizzy Trout 27 win season would be a good card. So let's see what other Hanks are out there. Hank Aaron. Oh, Hank Greenberg, of course. Hank Bauer. Hank Sauer. Okay, lots of good Hanks. Lots of good Hanks. I think Greenberg and Aaron for sure. So I just put Hank Aaron. So if there's another Hank, I'll put Greenberg. Okay, back to IMDb. Melissa Etheridge video. Oh, the first Power. I remember that. That's the one where who plays who though? It's the one where oh yeah, it's that creepy looking dude. I forget his name, but he's a serial killer, and then if he dies, he can like jump into another body. All right, Russell Logan. Those are a couple of potentially good names. So 1990, the first power. Russell Logan. All right, BREF, give me some Russells. Spelled the same. Addison Russell, yeah. Oh, I didn't realize Jock Peterson's middle name is Russell. Or Jesse Orozco. It's Jesse Russell Orozco. Russell Branyan, I really like that Russell Branyan card in Iron. I feel like it plays both ways, and he plays first and third with decent defense. That would be a Combinator card worth getting if I were going to try to fight the Combinator battle in Iron. Oh, Rusty Kuntz's full first name, Russell. Russell J. Kuntz. Buzz Arlett, who had a great LE card in PT24. Russell Loris Arlett. Don't blame him for going by Buzz. All right, who would I have gone with then? Addison Russell. Not really worth chasing, but all right. How about Logan? Logan Webb, right? Oh, Johnny Logan. He's got a good. I think he's got a good fielding shortstop card in the game right now. I think Logan Allen's got a future legends card. Yeah, so that's a good in-game card right now, Logan Allen. But I don't know that I'm waiting for anyone on that role. Jesus Fuentes in A Show of Force. We're into 1990 now. Jesus Fuente. All right, let's see what kind of names that unlocks. Jesus. Lots of Jesus middle names clogging up the list. Oh, Jesus Alou. His name just came up because of all the Father's Day stuff. He's one of the lesser Alous, but still, as a family man, they put up some good numbers. Yeah, only cracked 50 RBI a few times. Hit at or above 300 a couple few times though. Not bad. Not bad. Jesus Aguilar. I think he just got a card in the game, or maybe it was there at launch, but I think it was probably based on this 2018 season. It's because I know he's a good right-handed power bat in drafts, but I don't think that card would play in League. I'm just surprised there aren't more better Jesuses. Okay, well, I guess in the game there's Jesus Aguilar. Aguilar. And then are there any Fuenteses? Who are the Fuentes? There's a Ray Fuentes, Tito Fuentes. I wonder if he's in the game right now because his name rings a bell. Okay. At this point, I'm a little discouraged. I'm going to just do a quick scan of his roles and see if there's anything that. Demon. Oh, check this out. He did a role instead of Lou Diamond Phillips. He did it as credited as Louis Gem Phipps. Lou Diamond Phillips, aka Louis Gem Phipps. Gem. He replaced the diamond with gem. That's great. Okay, there's Young Guns too. Chavez y Chavez. See, Dark Wind Officer Jim Chi. Okay, Jim would free up some good ones. Harley, Mitchell Osgood. So Mitchell could be like a Kevin Mitchell or Mitchell as a first name. Jeff Powers. Jeff could be good. Although I'm trying to think of any good Jeffs. Let's check it out. This is what I should have just done. I should have done a quick scan first instead of like going roll by roll. So what good Jeffs are there? Oh, Jeff Bagwell, of course. And I don't think he has a card right now. Oh, that Jeff Bagwell will be a fun one to look forward to for sure. Jeff Hoffman, I think he had a good card in 24. Oh, Jeff Weaver could have a decent card. He had an up and down career, but I'm sure there's a good card in there somewhere. Oh, Jeff Blauser is in the game right now. It seemed like he was considered meta-ish bronze early on. Oh yeah, Jeff Bagwell. That'd be cool. Okay, so I'm gonna go that I'm gonna go by the card first. So Extreme Justice 1993. Jeff Powers, and then he frees up Jeff Bagwell. Awesome. Yeah, let's keep doing it this way. This is okay. Jerry, Tales from the Crypt. He played a Jerry. There's got to be a good Jerry. I feel like someone obvious is not coming to mind. Oh, yeah, of course. As a Mets fan, how could I not think of Jerry Kuzman? Former Dodger Jerry Royce, Jerry Remy, former Red Sox. I can't say great, but former Red Sox player Jerry Remy, Jerry Hairston. Okay, I could get on board with a good Jerry Kuzman card. All right, so that was Tales from the Crypt, 1993. It's like Jerry, and that gives us Jerry Kuzman. All right. All right, who else do we have here? Mick Burrows. Oh, so you would get Sean Burrows' dad. What the heck was his name? Jeff. Jeff Burrows. Oh yeah, and Teresa's tattoo Wheeler gives us Zach. Well, Zach Wheeler's in the game, so we can. Although I think is Zach. Oh yeah, Zach Wheeler has a historic card too. Oh, check this out. Directed by. He plays Cal. That gives us Cal Ripken. P.D. Martin. Oh, there's got to be some good Martins, right? Who's a good Martin? Who is a good Martin? Who's a good Martin? Oh, I was pulling in all the Martinezes. I just want the Martins. Martin Maldonado, who's got a historic card in the game right now. Although it's probably Martin Maldonado. More accurately, probably Martin. There isn't like a Hall of Famer named Martin? There's got to be. Man, I'm surprised there's not a better Martin. First name or last name. Jack Ketchum. Well, Jack's a good one. So I was looking at this roll under the Wharf Rat. Or no, Undertow, Jack Ketchum. Even just pictures, there's Jack Morris, Jack McDowell. Under my rules, though, we wouldn't get Jackie Robinson. Oh, Jack Clark. I bet he could have an interesting card. I mean, he was a right-handed National League slugger back when like 30 home runs was a big home run year. So that would be he could have an interesting card. Jack Cust, Jack Wilson, Jack Quinn, Jack Fournier. Oh, I just recently discovered his left-handed power bat card. If that's the same Jack Fournier I'm thinking of. Yeah, bats left. First baseman, right? Yeah. And I guess it's all relative. I mean, in that era, I guess. Oh yeah, led the league with 27 home runs and 24. Yeah, that explains his card. I like it. I've been grabbing him in drafts lately. I guess Jack Clark, Jack Morris, Jack. I just thought there'd be more amazing Jacks, but I guess not. This is why I do stuff like this. I learn stuff all the time. Captain Connor McCoy, Martin, Cisco, Jules, Nate, Roy Knox. Roy. I bet Roy can give us some names. What kind of names does Roy give us? Let me check out Roy. Oh, of course, Roy Halladay. Roy Campanella. Roy Oswald, who's not in the game, he could have a cool card. That'll be exciting to get a Roy Oswald card. Let's check out his stats. What season would be cool to get? Man, what a rookie year. 14-3 right out of the gates. Second, who did you finish behind? No, rookie. Oh, of course. Pujols. Yeah, there's no beating him. That's a bummer. You go 14-9 with a 1.059 WHIP, and you finish second because you were a rookie with Albert Pujols. Jamie Rollins too. Wow. Check out that class. Who's in the AL? Wow. These rookies in 2000, was it 2001? Ichiro, CC Sabathia, Alfonso Soriano, Albert Pujols, Roy Oswald, Jimmy Rollins, Adam Dunn. That's a heck of a incoming class. Back to so that's Roy, Sheriff Emmett Kinsey in the movie Bats. In Supernova, Jerzy Penalosa. I'm gonna guess here that's not gonna give us anybody. Neither name, both names. But let's check it out. Jersey. Oh, just as I thought, there is no Jersey. Oh wait, no E, just Jersey. Nope, there's no Jersey. Penalo Penalosa. There is no Penalosa. Yeah, that I was correct. That name would have been a dead end. Okay, Alfonso picking up the pieces would give us like an Alfonso Soriano. William. Now here's the interesting thing. Oh, sorry, I was looking at these roles. Sheriff Emmett Kimsey, Jerzy Penalosa, Officer Alfonso Soriano, William Dexter. So that's I thought it was interesting to see. Like I would only think of Ted Williams, but that wouldn't fly. But this would be have to be a William that goes by William and not like Bill or Billy or who has just William. Oh, Roger Clemens was William Roger Clemens. Did not realize that. Will Myers, wrong name. Will Clark, but not William. Yeah, I think because the role is listed as William, I don't know that's going to give us anybody. Because it's not Williams and it's not Will. I want to find the dude that goes by William. William Perez, 2 years in the majors. Of course, I'm probably missing someone major that's obvious, but I'm just not thinking of. Yeah, because it's William, not Williams. I don't think it's going to give us anybody. Detective Nick Ruse. Nick is an interesting one. What kind of names come with Nick? There's Nicky Lopez, who's a gold shortstop. Is like I play all the time, but that's Nicky, not Nick. Oh, Castellanos, of course. I feel like he had a good historic card in PT24, though I could be mistaken. Nick Swisher, Nick Ahmed. This Nick Ahmed I'm thinking of. That's your basically a defensive specialist, right? Oh, Nick Saski, who has I think, a good card in iron this year. Nick Whitgren. Hey, Sean, you been enjoying it, but about to pass out? Yeah, good night, man. Thanks for hanging. Appreciate it. Hope your bagels draft went well and your 5L too. I always feel a little extra pressure because I know like we all know each other now in those tournaments. And I always feel like if I have a crappy draft, people will be like, man, franchise, you had a bad roster today. All right, man. Have a good night. And if you can, swing by on Sunday for the Father's Day thing. I think the father son sim will be a lot of fun. So no Knicks. Okay, I'm starting to think this movie role name is going to be a bit of a dead end because most of these roles they just do not match up with anything. All right, yeah, great. I hope I'll see you in that stream Sunday night. And if I don't see you, have a good weekend. So I'm scrolling through these movies and his okay, James Chandler. So James will give us a bunch. Let's see what James gives us. James has a first name and has a last name, might be good. Yeah, not Jim Tomei, not Jimmy Rollins, not Jimmy Fox, which are all great players to have. No, James Shields. He could have an interesting card, I guess. We're looking for James, otherwise Jim Cott would be good. Where are all my Jameses? James Paxton, Big Maple. I haven't even seen like a Dion James or last name James. Mm, okay. Handler Juan. This Jack and Bobby character, Juan Alberto Alba, would probably give us two good players, Juan and a Roberto. So I think Roberto Alamar's on the naughty list. We won't be getting one of those, but there've got to be other Roberto. Oh, well, there's Roberto Clemente, and I think it seems like there might be a leaning towards multiple Roberto Clementes again. Roberto Clemente. I have Roberto Hernandez. Forgot about him. Roberto Kelly. Roberto Kelly, who broke up a certain Dave Steve's perfect game. Roberto Kelly. And then Juan. I mean, Juan Gonzalez, Juan Marshall, Juan Encarnacion, Juan Samuel, who's I think in the game already, but I don't I don't think it's called Juan Francisco, who's a great power bat at third base in the game right now. I grab him in drafts all the time because his third base defense is like in the 80s. And I think he also plays a decent corner outfield, so good roster flexibility. He's got like 80 or 90 power. It's a left-handed bat, so I grab him whenever I can. Okay, that's a good roll. Juan Roberto, Bo, but I can only take one card per roll, so I'd have to pick a Juan or a Roberto. So back to the roster. Mino Paloma, Vic Holden. I think there are a couple decent Vic pitchers in the game right now, in fact. Victor Paul Gaetano. I mean, I bet we get a good Victor and a good Paul. Paul Skeens. Who's the best Victor in the game? Yeah, this is where like I feel like we should be able to just look up first names by war. Maybe that's like a stats plus thing. I don't know. Victor Martinez. Those were just Vics, not Victors. Oh, Victor Zambrano. Oh, Vic Harris was one of the Vics I was thinking of earlier. Victor Cruz. Okay, so he has Vic and Victor eligible now. Tom Curry, so lots of good Toms, I'm sure, like Tom Seaver. No, sorry, I was looking at the list again of roles. Okay, so I think what I'm gathering is there will be a handful of future cards that'll be made eligible, but I think it's mostly going to be depending on this on the low diamond, um, the low diamond level of cards. And the good thing is like that's going to be evergreen because there'll always be new low diamonds coming out. But this team, and it's my own fault because I have so many unopened packs. But um, so the squad that's currently Low Diamond Phillips. Hold on, let me why don't I pull up that account? Right now I'm in the franchise time machine account, but let me open up the Low Diamond Phillips account. Because if I recall, this card doesn't have a ton of great. This team does not have a ton of great cards, and all three of these accounts that I opened. So I bought a second license when I decided I was going to stream. So Low Diamond Phillips is one of those three accounts with from the new license, and I'm running them free to play. So other than the cost of the new license, I'm not spending any money on them. Um, so as a result, I haven't gotten lucky yet with this card to draw a perfect card that I didn't want that I could sell, and haven't won any like PT Live or any weekly PTS periods like I have with some of the other accounts. So it's kind of stuck here with like 30,000 perfect points, but I've got 167 card packs to open. So, I mean, like, it could turn around, but 167 is not a lot. I think even if, six cards per pack, that puts you right at 1,000. And so the odds are one perfect per 1,000. So even if it goes by the odds and I do get lucky and get a perfect card in that mix, it's not going to really change the fortunes a ton. So I think I'm going to hold off on doing a theme team with this name at least for now. I have a couple other theme team ideas that I'm going to pursue that um, one might even be too broad, so might not make sense of theme, but it's a super fun theme, or at least I think it is. So I'm going to lean towards not doing a low diamond Phillips theme team, just keep running him as a just a regular team with a quirky name, and then I might do another stream at some point to kind of investigate this other theme team name I have in mind and see if it's worth doing a theme team. So it's a little anticlimactic because nothing's going to come of it. Although sometimes I think learning that it's not worth doing something is as important as learning it's worth doing something because you save yourself a bunch of time and bother and potential disappointment. So I am going to look for someone to raid into. I feel like, and that was fun. I like looking at those movie roles and trying to match them up with um, with players. Although I like the way I was doing it later towards the end, where I was just scrolling through and just like looking for names that might work instead of trying to go one by one. I should have realized that was not going to work when I saw he had like over 150 rolls. So let's find someone who is streaming out of the park. Oh, Max LP 80 is streaming out of the park. Awesome. Oh, perfect. Max LP 80. It is. All right. Well, I appreciate you guys indulging me my interest in seeing if this would work as a theme team. I just kind of needed a break from roster building and simming and stuff after doing the 3 streams in a row of Father's Day build, and then knowing that I've got that Father's Day season sim coming up on Sunday. I thought I just needed this like mental break from all that, and so this was fun for me. Hopefully, you found something interesting in it. And let's try to raid into Max LP 80. He's a super fun participant in the chats and in other streams, so very excited to raid into him. All right, here we go.